This was him before the surgery. Normal looking guy. And that's him after the surgery. The cringe world of Looksmaxxing. Oh no. Oh no. I guess we're just gonna be diving into the black pill world.
Looksmaxxing community. What you're about to watch is an edit of a guy who was born with a cleft lip, essentially just opening up about life and being vulnerable with his audience. And a Looksmaxxer decided to take a clip out of that video and make an edit out of him in an attempt to call him ugly with this collage of men that he finds attractive.
And the people that do that, they never ever show their face on camera. So it's like, how are you judging someone when we can't even see your own face? It's ridiculous.
I have to remind myself this is part of my life. And that's just not how my luck is.
Now, I honestly apologize that your guys' eyes had to see that. I'm not talking about the guy. I'm talking about this edit. I mean, it's one of the most cringe things I've ever seen. What's so wild to me is that the caption of this video says brutal mid-face, insulting the guy. Yeah, I promise you, if you look closely through this edit, you couldn't find one picture of the guy who made this edit. And that's because the guy is probably insecure himself. Funny enough, this guy's whole...
But wouldn't that make him like men? If he's editing men that he finds attractive, and he's also making fun of a dude that he doesn't find attractive, so there's kind of like an underlining, of he might be closeted or something.
Whole page is dedicated to him making edits of other men that he finds attractive, yet in all of those edits, that man is nowhere to be found. I find it so crazy that his name is Keep Coping Boyo. It says most brutal black pill edits, don't get mad at me. Yet he's taking a bunch of other men and putting them into
how many followers does he have?
Yet he's taking a bunch of other men and putting them into edits to call other people ugly. That is the most cringe thing I have ever seen. Like, I'm sorry, but the Looksmaxxing community is one of the most insecure and sad communities I've ever seen in my life. And we're gonna go more into that. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Looksmaxxing is, it is basically the practice in trying to maximize your looks. It's a term used online very often nowadays, and like, I will say, the root of Looksmaxxing makes sense. I mean, the whole idea of Looksmaxxing, I feel like, is a pretty good idea. Maximizing your looks, I think that's a great idea. Let me say, there is nothing wrong with trying to better yourself, whether that's grooming yourself properly, going to the gym, having a skincare routine, eating the right foods, all that good stuff. I myself do all these things, but what I want to focus on more in this video is the extreme Looksmaxxers. And these are the people who are so deep into Looksmaxxing that there is no return. The people who think that all that matters in life is looks, and that's pretty much it. And while I do agree, your looks can open more doors than if you didn't have the looks, let's be real here. The difference between flirting and harassment nowadays can sometimes boil down to how you look. I mean, imagine if you're a guy who looks a lot like Kelly Oubre, and you walk up to a girl, start complimenting her, start flirting with her, then ask for her number. She'd probably be very flattered. Then imagine if you were a busted, chopped, hideous, unpleasant creature doing that exact same thing. You'd probably get called a creep, unfortunately. So it makes sense on why we as people care so much about our looks. But at the same time,
I feel like looks starts the relationship, but personality is the one that it continues the relationship, basically. Obviously, yeah, looks is important, but obviously you want a 9 out of 10 with a bad personality, or a 6 out of 10 with a 10 out of 10 personality. I'm picking a 6 out of 10.
I do think it's pretty insane to stare into a mirror every day and hyper-analyze every single pore on your skin. And also doing all these weird methods to change your facial structure, like thumb pulling. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what thumb pulling is, I have a tutorial actually right here for you that looks like it was made by what looks like a 16-year-old.
A lot of you have been asking for a thumb pulling tutorial. Here is a full guide on thumb pulling to achieve more forward growth like
I don't see any difference. Cool. I think that's the before.
I did.
I don't see any difference.
I want you to put your body against a wall. Roll your shoulders back. and put your chin to your neck. Next, I want you to put your thumbs on your palate. Push up and out with your thumbs and resist with tucking your chin. You should hold this position for 30 seconds and repeat 5 times or more each day.
Did this man have to have
There's
the
no way
deep
people
voice
actually making
filter
stuff
on
like
this?
this.
Could he not just have narrated this video himself? Maybe I'm just nitpicking. But I'm gonna be completely honest. When you look at the before and after of this guy thumb pulling, it looks like nothing changed. Actually,
just
no,
the angle.
The lighting was the one change, that's all. But other than that, he looks the exact same. And I find it so insane that the guy who created this video is so young, yet he cares so much about having this insanely...
Exactly, at 16, you have a lot of years of developing. You're going through puberty. For men, it's the age of 21. That's when, you know, we fully like develop in terms of our biology, like our looks. But other than that, you have so much time, and this guy's caring about Looksmaxxing. Model Jordan Barrett. Look, this was him before the surgery. Normal looking guy. See? And that's him after the surgery. See, you can obviously tell. Yeah, see, he got, what's this thing called? That was like a backhoe fat, I believe, removal. So you can obviously tell like his older picture. Where's his older one? See, he looks more human. And the next one, you can obviously tell he has surgery. But a lot of people believe that they can actually achieve something like this without actually getting no surgery, which is why Looksmaxxing is kind of a facade. The TikTok ones.
Insanely sharp jawline. He's so dedicated to this that he's quite literally shoving his thumbs into his mouth and pushing his back against the wall and tricking his brain into thinking that there's some sort of change when really there isn't. The only change there was the lighting and the angle. That's pretty much it. Like, it's very sad. And here's another video of somebody who thumb pulls and they track their 30-day results. And the crazy part is that from day 1 to day 30, there's no change at all except for the lighting and angle.
Maybe he lost weight, maybe. You can tell by hair. See more here, there's more dent. Cheekbone is showing here. Neck is showing. Neckline is showing. Guess, yeah, less fat here. Maybe, look, this could be the angle, or maybe actually, you know, lost some weight. And he just grew his hair. I guess, maybe, I don't know.
Angle. It's like these guys are doing nothing and they're tricking themselves into believing that they did something. He quite literally just put on a shirt and looked away from the camera rather than looking into the camera. Like, what is this guy even on about? I see no difference at all. And if you thought that Looksmaxxing method was insane, just wait until you hear about this next method, bone smashing, where you hit your facial bones with hard objects like a phone or a hammer in the hopes of changing the shape to have this more chiseled look. And y'all may think I'm joking, but I am being dead serious. There are people out there hitting themselves in the face with hammers in an attempt to become more attractive. Like, this has to be considered some sort of mental illness.
How?
During the research of this video,
Why?
I actually found a guy on TikTok who apparently has been bone smashing for 29 days straight. And he has all these bruises on his face. And to top it all off,
What the hell? What improvement are you actually gonna make with your face looking at this? Is he trying to like develop a more forward like face? So then when his bones heal up, it gets stronger over here and here. Like, what?
all off, the man is using a rusty hammer. Like, you couldn't find a clean hammer anywhere. Like, you just had to hit yourself with the rusty, dusty, dirty hammer that you found in the garage. That is disgusting. And the fact that the hammer is touching this man's face is even more disgusting. I know it carries hella germs. And it's sad because this dude looks really young as well. He looks like he's in high school. And I feel like it opens up this conversation
16.
on if this extreme looksmaxxing is really about bettering yourself. I'm sorry, but you're not bettering yourself if you're hitting yourself in the face with a hammer to the point where you're leaving bruises on your face. That's more on the lines of self-hate than self-love. This guy is quite literally harming himself. This is self-harm. But YouTube, this is AI because I don't want to get this video taken down or demonetized or any of that. I think someone who loves themselves would accept how they look and own it rather than hitting themselves in the face with a hammer repeatedly to change their facial structure to get this mind.
It just screams, you know, insecurity. And I feel like this is like a males only fans, like seeking validation from other males. That's literally what I believe it to be true now.
Minecraft Steve look. I quite literally saw another guy while doing the research of this video trying to become more pale, and this man called it the vampire method. What's crazy is by the end of this whole vampire method, this man looks sick. And I don't mean he looks sick in like the, oh, you look sick in a cool way. No, he genuinely looks sick. Then you got all these people in the comment section saying, teach me, teach me, teach me. It is so cringe. Yet at the same time, I find it so sad. Like, why don't you teach yourself how to get a job instead of spamming in the comment section of this guy's videos asking how you can get more pale? These Looksmaxxers quite literally hate themselves so much to the
Speaking of pale, I hate it when I see the ethnic people, the people of color, doing these stupid trends. Look, if you're not European, okay, specifically African, unless you're not East African, you're not really gonna have this phenotype. So Looksmaxxing, like the videos that people of color watch and they watch, European males, it doesn't make sense unless you like, you have the same phenotype as them. You shouldn't really be taking advice from these type of people. I feel like I know what this is actually deeply rooted in. This is definitely a form of Eurocentrism. Eurocentrism is a worldview that centers Europe and its culture, values, and history in the most important or superior in the world, often leading marginalization, misrepresentation from non-European perspective and experience.
There is a method out there called the towel method where dudes bite towels in order to get more prominent jawbones. Here's actually a video of a guy doing a few of these methods. So he starts off with the towel method. As you can see, this guy kind of looks like XXX Tentacion, and he's also hitting the light-skinned dog face. I don't know why,
that Jaden Smith?
We'll just keep on going. As you can see, he's biting the towel. I don't know why he just...
Is his hairline painted? Oh, he put a spray on
us, but hey man, say man. And then this is apparently called the ice method, where he takes the ice and ices his jawline, and then he does this weird thing with his mouth. I don't know what that was, but okay. As you can see, he just keeps on rubbing his jawline, getting a little bit of the lips, and then he starts rubbing his eye, and this is to get siren eyes. And you can see this man has the enhancements of doom. Then he does this inner eye pulling, and then I guess this is the end of it. This is the end result. And then he just does this weird, I don't know why he's making this face right there. This man looks like Flapjack trying to bust out a laugh. I find these methods so stupid because I feel like half this stuff nobody truly cares about. Like this man is rubbing his inner eyes and icing the corner of his eye. Do we really need to do that? Is this really necessary? And is it really gonna make that much of a change? Like, let's just be completely real here. Exactly. Here's another Looksmaxxer. I guess this guy has been Looksmaxxing for 54 days straight.
Okay, Looksmaxxing day 54. So finally I bought Derma Roller to use on my cooked hairline. Took it और
I already know what the comments are gonna say. I already know.
मैंने थोड़ा सा pressure apply करके अपने right as well as left hairline में इसको use किया. Then I used zygo pushing to get opposite cheekbones.
What the hell is zygo pushing? You're pushing your face in. This isn't gonna do anything. Like, maybe I'm just hating. Maybe I'm just the biggest hater on this planet, which, hey, if I am, so be it. But I feel like this is just so pointless. Nobody cares about your zygos or whatever. Half the population doesn't even know what zygos are. Like, maybe I'm just a hater.
Then moved on to orbicularis oculi, जिससे कि हमारा upper eyelid exposure कम हो सके.
And also your orbicularis oculi. Do people even really care about this? Or are you just doing this because you're just hyper analyzing it and you think everyone cares, when in reality, no one truly cares?
Then moved on to MPR for jaw gains and finalized our routine with thumb pulling. And also you can see my jaw gains and comment whether the thumb pulling and all the exercises are working or not. Peace.
I feel like he's just doing this stuff just to do it. And this is so insane. The top comment says you're Indian, bro. It was over before it began.
I knew it. See, I knew it.
That is actually insane. And here's another one of these stupid methods from these Looksmaxxers. This is apparently called eye area maxing, where you make your eyes wider. And this is the before, as you can see. I guess he just has normal eyes. And then this is his method. And as you can see, it looks like nothing really changed. All you did was put on mascara and open up your eyes, little bro. You literally did nothing. Is that really eye area maxing, or are you just opening your eyes even more? And what makes this Looksmaxxing community even more sad is that these guys have legit online forums where they quite literally just rate each other's looks all day long. There's a whole website for this Looksmaxxing stuff called looksmax.org. And it's a whole forum of these guys just rating each other, giving out tips, doing all this BS. And there's also Reddit groups for these Looksmaxxers to rate each other's looks and give each other tips. Here's actually one that I just found the funniest. This one is called r/mogwarts. And as you can see, the first picture, it's this guy saying, need tips for improvement. I've been having a hard time with my face. I think it's the fact that my maxilla is underdeveloped, yet mewing doesn't help. Besides the fact my face is filled with acne, and the fact I'm fat, I seem to also have small eyes that don't match with the rest of my face. I feel like this guy is just...
Exactly, so you really know what you need to work on. You talked about your weight. Lose weight and you'll lose body fat. Lose weight and guess what? You start to see your features pop out. Acne, skincare, improve on your skin. Your hair, you have straight hair, so I have no advice for you. I don't know nothing about straight hair. Like, you really know what you have to do, but yet you come in here, like, I feel like he's overthinking it, you know? Like, he actually needs to read what he said. Like, the answers is literally right in front of him. Skincare, gym, your hair, yeah. Go and take advice from someone who has the same hair type as you.
Just hyper analyzing, bro. For you to care so much about just your eyes being small, that's something that you can't really change, you know? So why even bother caring about it? My suggestion, don't worry too much about your maxilla. Don't worry about mewing, etc. You have pretty good features. Just keep focusing on skincare and fat loss. Those two things alone will ascend you. When you've done both of those things, try maintaining your eyebrows as well as trying out new hairstyles / haircuts. Also, always stay clean shaven unless you have thick facial hair. The final step is learning how to take flattering photos. Lighting plus angles changes everything. You said it all. This stuff is just sad to me, man. Rating, completely honest. Why do you want a bunch of other men to rate you? I mean, unless you swing that way, you know, it's Pride Month.
I think most of them do.
But I assume you don't. So like, why do you want all these other men to rate you in a Reddit group? What can I do to improve further? And rate me 1 out of 10. Is this a picture of him as a child? Why do you have a picture of you as a child and then you have a picture of you grown up? Are you trying to like show that you had a glow up? That is not a glow up. That's a freaking grow up. What are we doing? It's so backwards to me because you're having men rate how you look, and that's your litmus test on whether or not you're attractive to women. Instead of actually going up and maybe talking to a woman, or maybe even just touching grass, or maybe getting a little job or something like that. I know I just used a slur. I didn't mean to use the J slur. But maybe get a job, you wouldn't be so focused on this stuff. Okay, so I feel like I just have to bring this up, but with the research of this video, I've also learned a new term, sub 5. So if you're unfamiliar with what a sub 5 is, according to Urban Dictionary, it's a person who is below a 5 out of 10 on the black pill / Looksmaxxing look scale. People in this range are seen as conventionally unattractive and often feel as if
after 1,000 swipes on Tinder, I only got 6 matches, which were all bots. I guess online dating is not for sub 5s. Oh my gosh.
they're invisible to the opposite sex. Now, apparently this is like a term that's used a lot within the whole Looksmaxxing community, and I just find it super cringe. Like, if we're referring to human beings as sub 5s and just all this, that just sounds so dumb. I'm sorry. But what's even more insane to me than this odd term is the Looksmaxxing edits. Now, y'all saw the edit earlier. That was cringe. But what if I told you that there are even more cringe Looksmaxxing edits out there? Like this one right here.
Alright guys, whoever catches these flowers gets...
Oh, I know that guy on TikTok.
3, 2, 1.
The golfing guy.
Oh my god, I want that shit.
Now we really got to break this down to a science. We really have to analyze this.
What did I
Okay,
just
so the start where he says whoever catches these flowers will be my girlfriend. It's obviously a skit. That's the Chica dance guy who was dancing every day until he got a girlfriend on TikTok, and he became a huge meme. And from what I can tell, these Looksmaxxers have no humor in them, because I guess once you Looksmax so much, your humor just completely leaves you and you can't detect what's a skit and what's not a skit. And yeah, I guess they just took this seriously. And also I wonder, why is there a watch at the bottom left of this whole edit? Like what is this Calith watch? What is this? Is this a TikTok ad? And then I wonder, what are these schizophrenic graphs that just pop up randomly for like a split second? What does all this BS mean? And when I tell you, these comments are so cringe. Looks are everything. No, he's just unlikable. Bro, he was obviously joking, man. I'm so glad there's somebody who understands in the comment section. Here's another Looksmaxxing edit where I guess it's some sort of dating show and one guy gets swiped left on while the other guy gets swiped right on. And these Looksmaxxers decide to make this an edit, basically making fun of the guy and essentially just calling him ugly.
Or maybe that wasn't her type. Doesn't mean that he's ugly. Maybe, you know, that just wasn't her type. Ever thought about that?
This is literal brain rot. Oh my god, this is brain rot. Obviously, she's gonna choose someone who she's attracted to. I want a nerdy guy. Do you think everyone is created equal? Really? And here's another edit where there's a guy and I guess he's asking a girl to like prom or homecoming or something. And he has a sign and some roses. And it seems like the girl says no, hell no, you know? And she rejected the guy, unfortunately. And these Looksmaxxers decide to make an edit out of this as well.
Damn. No. She even threw it.
Would he get rejected if he was true Tyrone? She wants Anthony Joshua, not him. Okay, shout out Anthony Joshua. I love me some boxing, you know, huss. Might just get knocked out. But yeah, I don't think it's that she wants Anthony Joshua. I guess she just didn't want bro right there. Sub 5 rejecting sub 5. Okay, I'm pretty sure y'all get the gist, you know.
What is a true Tyrone? Is it just like good looking black dudes? Is that what a true Tyrone is? Of all names to pick Tyrone.
Pretty much, they just take a sad moment or maybe a skit or even something funny that's supposed to be comedic. They'll take it super seriously, make an edit out of it with a bunch of men that they find attractive and basically just try to shit on other people. And I just find it so corny. Looksmaxxing trend is so cringy. Me looking at them, brutally mugging them. Face reveal when? Exactly, it's not gonna happen. So while researching this video, I also found this, I guess, graph right here that tells you how your nose shape is rated within the Looksmaxxing community. Agree.
Wait, what's my nose? I don't know.
9 out of 10, turn up nose, 9 out of 10, snub nose, 7 out of 10, black nose, 4 out of 10, Roman nose, 2 out of 10, and then fleshy nose, 0 out of 10. And I find it so sad that there's 3,000 people that legit save this. They're probably thinking every day like, man, I have a fleshy nose, I'm a 0 out of 10 to these random people online. Oh my gosh, I just find it so dumb. But yeah, it's looking like I have the Roman nose maybe, or maybe even the fleshy nose. I don't know, y'all tell me in the comment section below. And if you thought that the Looksmaxxing community couldn't get any more cringe, what if I told you that they have Looksmaxxing apps that rate people on if they're attractive or not? Oh, you thought the Reddit groups were crazy and the Looksmaxxing websites? Yeah, these Looksmaxxing apps are even crazier. The video that you guys are seeing popped up on the screen right now is this app Umax, and the video that you guys are seeing
no glazing bar. He's not 62.
It's the app that Looksmaxxers use to rate themselves. This just gets sadder and sadder. Like the more I speak about these Looksmaxxers, I just realize how like far gone these people are. And the funniest thing is that these apps aren't free. Yes, they are free in the App Store, but to actually utilize them, you have to pay a weekly subscription in order to get that rating. And it's only like $4 or $5, but I still think that's a complete rip.
£5, $5 a week? Are you crazy?
Off. If you need to spend $4 or $5 for an,
if you want to know if you're attractive, go and ask a girl. Go to your school, high school, college, university. Go and ask a girl if you find you attractive. Stop asking other dudes if they find you attractive. As a straight man, go and ask a girl. So from then, once you go and ask that girl, you will know if you're attractive or not. Alright. Stop asking men to rate you. Ask girls, women, if you're straight. Like, subscribe. Peace.